Believe it or not, I also make videos for our Chat Sports YouTube channel, and we're getting really close to 250,000 subscribers. So if you love the Raiders Report, imagine this, a channel just like this around the entire National Football League, and maybe for some of you NBA lovers out there, content around that. Now, I'm not on every single one of the videos, but I do a lot of the live shows on Monday and on Wednesday, so if you could, please go support the channel. Go ahead and subscribe, youtube.com/chatsportstv. No matter the location, from OAKLA to LV, I'm a Raider. What's up, y'all? You're watching the Raiders Report. Let's get into this mailbag. Daniel, much love. Appreciate the super chat. I think your caps are on, though. Damn, Mitch thought Ruggs would beat Mecole Hardman in that race. Hardman 4.22, Ruggs 4.26. It was a video simulation of how fast they ran. I agree with Ruggs. If you're going to say that you beat me, you got to race them side by side. I don't want to see none of this, computer simulation crap. I don't want to see it. Let's go to Prod Introvert. 2 firsts for Davante Adams. I love Davante Adams, and I'm going to show you what this trade would look like here, because this was actually another trade submitted earlier in the week when I asked y'all, hey, submit me your crazy trade ideas for Julio Jones. You're like, nah, I'm going to give you a Davante Adams one, which I respect. So a first-round pick in 2022 and a first-round pick in 2023. The Raiders, they get Davante Adams. Would you go ahead and make this trade? I want you to type trade for yes, or I want you to type pass if you wouldn't take it. The reason why I am going to go ahead and type pass, which might surprise a lot of people out there, is because I like Davante Adams a lot. However, you're only really going to get him for 1 year, and then essentially you're going to have to pay him a ridiculous amount of money. The other reason why I'm going to go ahead and say pass is because he's got 1 more year left on his contract, where if he just let him play it out in Green Bay, then if you really want him, you go ahead and sign him in free agency. That's why I would go ahead and do it. Now, today's show is presented by PANDA SUPPS. If you're wondering what I'm drinking, it's their Fat Burner Thermogenic. You can go ahead and get it. My flavor I got is pink lemonade. They also have mango. Go on over to pandasups.com and use code BURN, where you can save 40% off on the best workout supplements. And I want y'all to, seriously, go ahead and try their Fat Burner, because it's literally you burn calories by just sitting at your desk, sitting at your office, and if you want to burn like an extra 100, 150, 200 calories while you're working out, doing absolutely nothing extra, you take 1 scoop of this, you drink it, and you're ready to rock and roll. Let's go to the super chat from Shane. What up, Shane? If the Raiders get Julio Jones, which wide receiver will benefit from it, and which wide receiver will be ass out? Thoughts? The receiver that I think this hurts the most in terms of this season, in terms of on-field production, is actually probably Bryan Edwards, because Edwards is your bigger receiver. I would say the guy that helps the most is Henry Ruggs. You can add Julio Jones, you have Darren Waller. That alone needs to be respected, which means then you can't bracket cover Henry Ruggs in terms of over the top, because you have to respect those two guys. So if you're telling me right now I can get Henry Ruggs one-on-one, no bracket coverage over the top, he might not get as many targets with Julio, but he's definitely going to have a lot more home runs. So who does it help out the most? It helps out Ruggs, which is a very important player to get going. Let's go to Christopher McGuire. What up, my man? I think the Raiders bring Melvin Ingram, and Furl gets time at DT and defensive end. So depending when you guys see this video, I know Melvin Ingram was in Miami on Monday visiting with the Dolphins. So Ingram, by the time you guys see this, if you're live, he still hasn't been signed. But if you see this on a later date, then maybe he's no longer a player out there on the market. If you're looking for a veteran edge rusher, I get the idea that Ingram knows the Gus Bradley system. And I know I've said this 100 times here on the show. But if you want a veteran edge rusher, no disrespect to Melvin Ingram, I'm going to go out and get a guy like Justin Houston, who's had 8 sacks the last 5 years and has played 32 games the last 2 seasons. Ingram played in 7 games last year, had only 10 tackles, no sacks. I'll take Justin Houston. All right, let's go to the next question here on the Raiders Report from Aaron. What up, my man? Who would you see as GM if Mayock gets fired? And there's a part of me that would love to see Louis Riddick in a general manager room, and I'm a believer that a team that he would love to coach is actually, in fact, the Las Vegas Raiders. I know a lot of people are also throwing out the name Daniel Jeremiah. However, I don't believe the Raiders would hire Jeremiah, because the whole NFL draft analyst thing with Mayock didn't 100% work out. But I'm just hoping that they can get their shit together and that it's not us looking for a new GM, new head coach. Because, I like Mayock a lot, and I love John Gruden. They just need to make some better choices here. Let's go to the next question coming up here on the Raiders Report. As a reminder, use hashtag Raiders, or you guys can go ahead and super chat. It's the easiest way to get on the show. This one's coming in from Edward Segovia. Oh, boy. Start defensive tackles Thomas, Jefferson, Furl, pass rush, Hankin, Furl, Stills, run. All right, so you're basically saying you want Quentin Jefferson and Solomon Thomas to start at defensive tackle. Furl will come in as a pass rusher, and then you can use Hankins, Furl, and Darius Stills, the UDFA out of West Virginia, for the run. I mean, if I have to pick between which defensive tackle do I want on the field the most, it's Cleveland Furl. I also want him as a defensive end, but then also Solomon Thomas, Quentin Jefferson, Jonathan Hankins, they can all switch in. But yes, Jefferson and Thomas, they'll be more for pass rushing. Jonathan Hankins more of a run stopper at this point. Let's go to Brett. What up, Brett? How many Chucky Heads Raiders at least make an offer for Julio? I'd give it 2 Chucky Heads. Hell, I might even say 3 Chucky Heads. If you're an NFL team and you have a player like Julio Jones out there on the market and you don't at least pick up the phone and call, you're not doing your job. Let's go to Dom_Waxy. Do you think the Falcons will take this? Trade Zay Jones, Carl Nassib, and a second for Julio Jones. I think they would potentially take it. I mean, if all they want is a second-round pick for Julio, they'd be interested. Actually, including somebody like Carl Nassib might hurt the deal because they're going to have to go out and pay him a little bit of extra money, which maybe they wouldn't want to go ahead and do. But in terms of do I like this deal or not, yeah, I would 100% take that deal. Let's go to Scott. You're next up here, my man. Should we sign Adam, I believe you mean Vinatiri, the kicker, at least the old kicker, and I don't blame you for not knowing how to spell that last name. I don't think I've ever spelled that name right. But no, there's no reason to go ahead and do it. We got Daniel Carlson. He's a good kicker. We just gave him a 3-year contract, I believe. So in terms of going out and getting another kicker, no, I don't really think it makes a whole lot of sense. Now, today's show is presented by Panda SUPPS. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to turn on these lights here. So if you're curious on how to get into a little bit better shape, use code BURN where you can save 40% off at pandasups.com. I've been telling y'all for a long time, one of my favorite products is the Fat Burner. The way that you find it on the website, though, is when you go underneath Shop, you click the scroll down button. It's noted as a thermogenic, which I tried to spell for you guys down below, which you can see. So if you want to go ahead and get it, you can go ahead and do so. And with our code BURN, you can save 40% off. The reason why it's code BURN is because you're burning fat using this fat burner, and it's literally called Burn Thermogenics by Panda SUPPS. Usually $60. It's now only $35.99. Also, I have actually an opportunity for you guys to get some hats as well from Panda SUPPS. So if you guys could, I want you to listen up and listen up real closely. So we've been giving away some hats here, and you have an opportunity to go get yourself a hat. So Panda SUPPS told me this. The first, I believe it's 10 people, or they're giving away 10 hats or something like that. I don't remember the number. I'm not good at math. Here's how you can go ahead and win. Go to Instagram, follow Panda SUPPS on IG, and on their last Instagram post, I want you to comment Raiders. It's pretty simple. So if you go ahead and do that, we're going to be giving away a few hats next week, just like we gave away some t-shirts from Autumn Abyss as well. So if you guys could, go to Instagram, follow Panda SUPPS, comment Raiders on their last post, and we're going to pick a few winners to go ahead and get a free Panda SUPPS hat, usually $25, but hey, we're trying to hook up the nation. Let's go to Bluegrass Raider. What up, my man? Just restructured Carr's contract and released Richard, and you have the money for Julio. I mean, you already if the money cap space is the issue for Julio Jones, you're not doing your job. You can manipulate money, you can restructure contracts, you can move things around to make it happen. If I'm Derek Carr, I'm probably not going to end up restructuring my contract. Personally, I don't think he ends up doing it. And yes, you move on from Richard. You can move on from a lot of other guys to create a little bit of extra cap room, but you got to do whatever you can to get Julio as far as I'm concerned. Next question coming in here from one of the OGs, Juicehead89. Switch Peterman to tight end or defensive back. So defensive back, never going to happen. I actually think it's funny that you say tight end because there's been reports in terms of people that I trust at the Raiders that have said that they've actually been working out Nathan Peterman as a tight end. I don't think he's going to play tight end. It's more of they're just using him as that role and just in case he needs to find his way on the field. You got a super chat coming in from Jack Kenna. The only way I could see the Raiders trade for Julio Jones is to extend DC due to cap space. Do you agree? I'm a believer that if the Raiders truly think that Derek Carr is their quarterback and he's their future and they want to help him out the most humanly possible way, then you go ahead and make a move for Julio Jones. And if you were to tell me right now, if I'm Derek Carr and you'd be like, hey, man, would you want a 3-year extension right now? Just like three-year extension, you put it on there and you're like, okay, you have him for 3 years and you have Julio Jones for the next 3 years. That would be something I'd actually be open to. But at the same time, I also really like Derek Carr's contract the way it is right now. I don't really want to pay him anything more. Let's go to this next one coming in from Doug Varillo. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Trade Arnett and Lawson. Throw in a second in 2022 to get Julio Jones. I don't give up. You guys can fill in the blank. Then sign Richard Sherman. So in terms of what I trade Arnett and Lawson and a 2022 second-round pick to get Julio, I mean, that's a lot to give up. However, I would actually probably still do it if I could get Julio Jones. And then sign Richard Sherman. If you're telling me right now if I could get rid of Arnett, and by getting rid of Arnett, I get Sherman, that is actually something I'm on board for. The fact that he's still out there on the free agent market, to me, says two things. Either, A, he's not 100% healthy, so that could be something glaring, or B, he's asking for a little bit too much money. But let me know down in the comments what you guys want somebody like Richard Sherman. All right, the next thing I'm going to ask you all is this. I understand that the game prices for the Raiders games, they're pricey, right? I mean, we can't deny. I believe the last time I looked, the 5 out of the top 6 most expensive games are all Raiders home games, and it's partly due to because it's in Las Vegas. It's partly because, it's a new stadium, but people are excited about the team, no doubt about it. But are you going to a game this year? Y for yes or N for no. If you plan on going to the Dallas Cowboys game, I live in Dallas. Please message me. I'd love to be able to get together and grab a beer. For those of you typing, and for no, I'm not spending over $1,000 on a ticket, I don't blame you. And to all those people out there that are wondering, how can I watch the game for free? We're going to have you covered here. I'm going to be doing live watch parties literally for every single Raiders game. So for whether it's a Monday night, Thursday night, Sunday game, it will not matter. We're going to be live for like 5, sometimes 6 hours, breaking down the entire game, first quarter to fourth quarter, and then we do a fun little post-game reaction. So if you like the live show, you're going to love our post-game reaction shows. You're going to absolutely love our watch parties. So subscribe. I don't want you to miss them. Let's go to LC Raider. Deshaun Watson still wants to be traded. Mitch, should the Raiders be interested? Until I see what's going on with Watson, I'm not going to trade for him, and I don't really think he should be talking about trades because that's probably the least thing that he should be worried about. Let's go to Raider Lopez. Hey, Mitch, do you see Bushman making the team? And in my 53-man roster projection, I did have Matt Bushman actually making the team. UDFA from BYU. He didn't play this past season, decided to opt out, which I actually think really hurt his stock because of how good Zach Wilson was and the fact that he led BYU in receiving in 2017, 2018, and 2019. He has receiving skills. If he would have been 22 or 23 years old, he would have been drafted actually maybe as a 4th-round pick. Due to the fact that he's 25 years old and he's a rookie, that also was a big reason why he's a UDFA, but he's got ball skills and he can catch the football. So, yeah, if I'm the Raiders, I actually would keep the guy on the team. Let's go to Peyton Squire. Also, the other reason, they gave him $125K, 8th most among all UDFAs. All right, a 1st and a 4th for Davante Adams, #Raiders. So a 1st and a 4th for Adams. The only way I'm going to go ahead and do this is if you're telling me I can keep Adams on the contract that he's going to have this year. You don't have to extend him. And, man, it is a lot, though. But I do know this. That would make Derek Carr very, very happy. But would this be a trade that I would do? Yes, actually, it would be a trade I would do. Now, if y'all made it this far in the video and I didn't get to your question, you can blame Sam. Go yell him at Twitter at SamBrownCS. Is that it? Is it Sam Brown CS? He refuses to answer. That's fine. You can just yell at me on Instagram at Mitchell Renz 365. The DMs are open, and if you want to hit me up, I'm going to be in Austin, Texas this weekend, and I'm going to be at a baseball tournament, and I believe this video might be going out on a later date. I don't know which day exactly, but I'm going to be there all day Sunday, so hit me up if you want to grab a beer. All right, let's go to the super chat coming in from Aaron. Hey, Mitch, who would you like to see as GM if Mayock gets fired? I think we actually already answered this one. I said Louis Riddick, but Aaron, appreciate it. But, yeah, if I had to pick anyone, I guess Louis Riddick because I think he would like the job. Let's go to Mad Vet Woodworking. Do you think we're going to have a top 15 defense this year? Getting my seat on the Gus bus. Do I think it's going to happen? I hope so. But to go from the worst ever in franchise history to top 15, it's not going to be easy to do. Do I think they have the players to be able to do it? Yes. On paper, they should be a top 15 D, but I'm done saying, yes, this is going to be the year. Until I see it, I'm going to say no. Let's go to LaShawn. What up, my man? Julio Jones will not be worth it in the end with how many assets we'd have to give up. I sincerely believe we are already a 12-5 squad. And by the way, the Raiders sweep Kansas City this year. Well, I don't think that they're going to sweep Kansas City. I'm hoping for just one win. A 12-5 team, that's pushing it as well. I projected 10. They're over-under. They're actually projected to have only 7 wins. I don't agree with that. I'll take the over on that. I think they're a 9-win, 10-win football team. And then Julio Jones, if all you have to do is give up a second-round pick for him, I mean, honestly, y'all, I would do that in a heartbeat. So, LaShawn, go check out my Julio Jones trade video. I think you would pretty much enjoy it. If you guys haven't already, please go ahead, subscribe. And if you could, like the video, I'd appreciate it.